Okay, Thursday morning. Wow, what a storm! What a storm! Impressive how it has basically exploded now right overhead, right over southern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. There, as I had mentioned to you in a email earlier this morning update, I was sweating, and I think all forecasters were sweating because when the radar goes from nothing to just an explosion of snow, it kind of takes your breath away, at least from a forecasting standpoint. And I was very happy to see. You guys may not have been happy to see it, but I was, from a forecasting standpoint, happy to see that occur. And of course, now we're getting snow. And here's the NamNest computer model guidance. And I think this NamNest, now this is hot off the press. This is as of 7 this morning, this model run. And I think it's got a real good handle on everything. And quite frankly, this is what the guidance has been showing now for the last 24 to 48 hours. And again, we're thinking somewhere in that 4 to 6 inch range of snow. This is for today now. This is on top of what fell yesterday evening. So I think in general, a good 4 to 6 inches of snow, some places even a little bit more. Before the snow ends by early this evening. You put that on top of what fell last night, and many people will be reporting amounts in that 5 to 7 to 8 inch range, and heavier totals as you get into northwestern Wisconsin. So from as you get north of Eau Claire into the lakes area of northwestern Wisconsin, that's where the bullseye is going to be for snow, where they may be getting 9, 10, maybe even a foot of snow. Okay, here's the visible imagery, and wow, this is a sight to see. These clouds really just ramped up here in the last 3 to 6 hours, but these are what we call altocumulus or cumulostratus clouds. They are moisture heavy or laden clouds. They were not there 6 hours ago southwest of us, and now here they are. You can see kind of a bumpiness and a strato form to these clouds. And that's why we are expecting several hours now yet of snow, because they continue to bubble up or thicken in intensity. And that is a nice sight to see if you want snow. Okay, here's the infrared satellite imagery. And of course, we look for cloud tops that are increasing in intensity or cooling. And that's what you get when you see the yellows and the greens in the colors of the clouds. And what I want you to look at is what's happening here in northern Iowa and southern Minnesota. The clouds, we've gone basically from no clouds to now increasing cooler cloud tops just in the last 3 to 6 hours of this satellite imagery animation. And that tells me that this storm system is intensifying right overhead and should continue to do so for the next several hours before it quickly pulls off to the northeast. This storm is moving fast, so that's the reason why I think snow totals will be, at least for the most part, kept in check, if you consider 4, 5, 6 inches of snow in check. But if this storm system were moving slower, we'd be talking about well over half a foot to near a foot of snow in some locations. But it seems to be moving fast enough that it will get out of our hair by late this afternoon and early this evening. Okay, radar. Here's the radar summary. Well, let's just get to the current frame. You can see patches now of heavy snow with some lighter snows. In fact, there may be some areas that may only have flurries, but then you get that freezing drizzle mixed in with that, and it just becomes a nightmare as far as the commute is concerned, and as far as predicting exactly where and what time heavy snow is going to be falling. But really what it comes down to is this is going to be periods of snow throughout the rest of the morning and into the early and mid portions of this afternoon before the snow starts to taper. Now, you can see one lull in the activity now in the Twin Cities and just south of the Twin Cities. So yeah, we may get an hour or two here of a lull, but look at what's happening further southwest of us here, down near the I-90 corridor. This is some intensifying snow bands, and that continues south into Iowa. In fact, we put Des Moines radar into motion, and look at this intense band of snow that has developed near Des Moines and north of Des Moines. That's headed for Rochester and for the Eau Claire area. And then we're looking at this next band of snow also here in western Iowa that's increasing in intensity and moving to the northeast. So no doubt that we're going to be having periods of snow here in the Twin Cities for several hours. Here's Sioux Falls radar now southwest of the Twin Cities, and you can see healthy snow falling near Worthington and Fairmont along the I-90 corridor in southwestern Minnesota, and that is moving towards the Twin Cities metro, basically towards the whole region. So the Twin Cities, Red Wing, Eau Claire will be getting snow throughout the late morning and afternoon hours. So just be prepared for a nightmare commute this evening, similar to this morning. And again, you should be able to get out there and start moving snow around, of course, now, but really you can start moving snow this evening, later this afternoon and evening as the snow starts to taper. All right, so now let's get into, I just wanted to quickly look at what's going on for Tuesday now of next week. And I think it's dangerous when we're experiencing a winter storm right now. I think it's dangerous to look ahead, but I think this is worth looking ahead. And again, I just want to kind of focus on Tuesday of next week. And here is the jet stream structure for that time. And as you all know by now, that we look for these bends in the jet structure, what we call troughs, and you can see one right here, right over the northern and central portion of the United States, and then a jet streak just south of us. That puts us on the nose once again and on the left front quad of a powerful jet streak similar to today. Okay, that's a great location for a winter storm. I don't want to get everybody excited, at least too much yet, but I do think it needs to be said that there is the potential now for another major winter storm over Minnesota and Wisconsin as we get into Tuesday of next week. And I believe you saw that on the trigger graph that was sent to you yesterday. So I'm keeping a close eye on Tuesday of next week. Now, as we zoom out here and look at the GFS computer model guidance for next week, this is Monday. You can see dry here over the upper Midwest, but watch what happens as we get into Tuesday of next week. Kind of makes your jaw drop a little bit, but yes, another 6 to 12 inches of snow, long ways out. All right, long ways out. It's a lot of real estate to cover here before this occurs, but the potential is there for a major winter storm from South Dakota, Nebraska, Northeast through our region and into northern Wisconsin for Tuesday of next week. Real quickly, let's just go to the NAM-NEST computer model guidance, and we'll zoom into to our area here in our region, and we'll put this into motion. Just this gets back to today. Sorry for skipping around here, but there's just a lot going on. But here's the future radar for today. You can see that by still 3-4 o'clock this afternoon, still expecting some snow here over the region, over eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. So accumulating snow still should be falling at that time. But watch what happens as we get into the early evening hours. This is by about 8 or 9 this evening. Snow should all but be ending here across eastern Minnesota and western Wisconsin. Yes, we'll likely get some flurries and light snow, but I think the accumulating snow, the significant snow, will come to an end sometime in that 5 to 8 p.m. range this evening, so near or just right after the morning commute. And once again, snowfall totals, and let's show you that again. Snowfall totals from the NAM-NEST computer model guidance is showing somewhere in that 4 to 6 inch plus range when all is said and done across the region, with some areas potentially even higher amounts, some localized areas. All right, we'll continue to try to update you as we get into late this morning and afternoon. Take care.